Now let's take a look at the historic recreation your teammate Anthony Edwards and fellow Minnesota sports star Justin Jefferson recently did. Jamal Collier has the story.
We're here for this photo. Moss, KG, year 2000 is when they posed for this photo. When y'all look at this, what does it represent to you?
The Minnesota greats. I mean, Randy just all-time great.
They call me the freak, man.
Garnett is all-time great.
Missed the lead, but Garnett is way up above the rack. Woo! Jam it down.
They definitely had Minnesota on lockdown, so we the two next ones for sure.
Edwards gets it back.
I like to talk trash, so I love KG. You know what I mean? He talk a lot of trash, so that's the same way I am.
One thing I think is cool about this photo is, I've seen wearing each other's jerseys. You know, I think, you played football, you played basketball coming up. You think you could have went pro football?
Yeah, for sure.
What stopped you?
I got hurt. So I got hurt.
I got hurt.
Yeah.
What position you would have played?
In football, I probably would have been like a Cam Chancellor for real.
Oh my goodness, what a shot by Cam Chancellor.
You think it's an easier transition for basketball players to go to football or football players to go to basketball?
Yeah, I think it's easier, yeah.
For y'all?
Football players can't go play basketball.
You crazy.
No way. I told my buddies, I said, if I win a ring in the next 3 to 4 years,
you're not going to football.
I'm going to play football.
No, you're not.
Why are you excited to recreate the photo?
I mean, they the GOATs of Minnesota. And we trying to be, you know what I mean? We started in the right place. We're trying to keep going that way.
Right.
So I feel like in order for us to follow those footsteps, we got to do the same thing. But we're going to be a little more swaggy, a little more, you know what I mean?
Put our own little sauce to it.
That is so cool.
Fire.
Shout out Jamal Collier for that.
Yes.
Did you guys see this? Ant took to social media this morning asking our NFL insider, Adam Schefter, what team's going to need me now? He said, what the GM's talking about?
Jets.
He always said he could play baseball. Now he said he could play football.
He says he can play any sport, anything that's
he
competitive.
He looks you like straight in the face and says, "Yo, I'm gonna play football." I'm like, "Bro, you're too good. We want you. Stay.
All right. Well, if he is that good in the NBA, we're expecting him to be cracking, certainly being in that top 5 in MVP voting once again this year. Perk, what are your expectations for Ant and the Timberwolves? Because clearly now he wants to go on and play football after he wins a ring.
My expectations for Ant is to lead the league in scoring and all that, right? He's that fantastic. But they are the biggest mystery in the NBA.
What do you mean by that?
Because we're talking about a team that just came off a season where they went to the Western Conference Finals, that knocked off the Denver Nuggets, who were the defending champs at the time, and you trade away Karl Anthony Towns, who was so key to that run, that matched up that fit in so perfect with Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert. Now you bring in a guy like Julius Randle. Yes, Janae, I know he's a dog. I get that. But it's his style of play, and I need to see what it looks like, right? Julius needs space to operate. Ant needs space to operate, right? And I just need to know, are you going to roll with Rudy and Randall, or Randall and Randall and Nas Reed? Like, what is that going to look like?
Look, to me, go ahead, Wendy.
First off,
Don't first off me.
Tonight, not you, sir. First off to the general fan. Tonight, this is a moment made for Ant Edwards. I know that this is about Bron and Bronny tonight.
You know that Ant Edwards is sitting there making the face that Perk is making right now. That's the face Ant's been making all day.
Coming over to Crypto tonight on national TV, and he is going to remind everybody who he is. You know he's going to show up tonight. That's number one. I respect what you say about Julius Randle and him finding a rhythm together. If I'm going to say the Knicks are going to have issues, maybe getting meshed early on, I got to say the same thing about the other team on the trade.
There we go.
But I do like the balance that this trade has made for their roster. It opens up more of a role for Nas Reed.
Yes.
It clarifies the role for Rudy Gobert. It adds Dante DiVincenzo. And I like some of their younger players that they also have who are developing.
Look, and I'm going to say look too again. You said that they are a mystery. I'm disappointed, Perk.
Wow.
You were Team Timberwolves for such a long time. They are a mystery. They're not going to solve all of their issues and figuring out their roles game 1, game 2. It might take a quarter of the season, but Ant is a monster. And what I loved was that they have the pain of falling short in the Western Conference Finals to motivate them this year to fix those issues. And they made a big change in getting Julius Randle. But what I'll say is this. Yeah, there are going to be probably some spacing issues. But if you watch the way that the postseason went, Naz Reid needed more opportunity. And I do think alongside Julius Randle, maybe that'll bring out a better version of him too. There's some calculations happening, but also Julius, like I said, like they have the same mentality. They compete on both ends.
Is this team right now better than the team last year on paper? Can this team right now go back to the Western Conference?
This is what I think the most underrated part of this is Dante DiVincenzo.
Right.
I agree.
Him spacing the floor, 283 threes, the most since under Luka and Steph. Like that, to me, having that flow spacer alleviates Karl-Anthony Towns.
I think saying I agree is the best way to end this segment, at least for now. We're not going to solve all of the Timberwolves' problems right here. More on their opponent coming up here, and a little bit more from this guy.
This is Bronny James of the Los Angeles Lakers, and you're watching NBA Today.
It's a matchup between the old and the new guard, LeBron, Anthony Edwards. So with Cat now in New York, Anthony Edwards, he has a new partner here in Julius Randle. Chene, how quickly do you think these guys can get going?
First of all, 2 words for Anthony Edwards, box office. I love this guy. Everyone fell in love with Ant Edwards, especially during the postseason. He averaged 27, 7, and 7. But these two, what I like about them, they have the same mentality. Perk, are you going to do it? Are you going to do it for me? Are you going to bark? There's some dogs. There we go. It's NBA season. These guys are some dogs. And I love that tenacity will hopefully take them over the edge where they fell short last year.
See, if I didn't have a cup of coffee now, I'm ready to go. It does feel like Anthony Edwards is primed for an incredibly special season. You see how she just swished, nothing but net. But tonight, Chene, we're all also watching and waiting for history. LeBron and Bronny James, they could become the first father-son duo ever to share the court. And new on NBA Today, here is LeBron at this morning's shoot-around.
I mean, whenever it happens, it will happen. You know, if it's tonight or if it's, down the line, whenever it happens, it will happen. And, but, it's been a treat and just, from preseason to practices, every day to, not plane rides and bus rides, just being, with him. Kind of reminded of that one play when it was a pop field in center field and Griffey Jr. just snuck in and took it from his dad. And I was like, pretty cool. That was a pretty cool moment. It was a pretty fun moment. So, to be here today and to know that, those guys will be in attendance tonight, while me and Bronny is, on the same team, it's just a pretty cool, moment in the history of sports. They hit 2 home runs when they was in Seattle, right? Yeah, that was pretty. Probably 2 lobs. If I catch a lob and then Bronny catch a lob, that'd probably be equivalent of that.
So for more on that, we welcome in our new senior NBA insider for the first time in studio with us, Shams Charania. I feel like I put my seat up a little.
I got to get to your level.
In the presence of Shams. But let's talk a little bit more about this because there's been so much conversation, right, Chene? When are we going to see LeBron and Bronny actually take the floor together? Could we see it tonight?
If it's a competitive game, if it's within the game flow, they are likely to make their debut tonight together. First time we've ever seen a father-son duo in league history at the same time. That's if the game, if the game is out of hand, if it's a 12, 15-point deficit, 20-point deficit after, near the end of the first quarter, midway through the first quarter, that is not a situation you want to throw that into. And J.J. Redick said yesterday they have not made any firm decisions, but the Lakers want this to occur, and they want it to occur in the way of a natural form of a game. Obviously, this has never happened before, might never, ever happen again. And so this is a big moment for the league, for LeBron, and for Bronny.
I've never heard LeBron talk about individual moments in baseball games like he just did there, talking about remembering Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. The cat was let out of the bag a little bit by Jr. when he said he was going to come with his dad tonight. I think the plan is for this to happen in the preseason when they played together in Palm Springs. It happened at the beginning of the second quarter. So Shams is right. You can't script how the game is going to go. You have to see it. But if they were to plan it, I would suspect, keep an eye on the beginning of that second quarter. Second unit will largely be in for the Timberwolves. comfortable moment for LeBron coming off of his first quarter rest.
Right.
That's when you would target it. Whether it happens tonight or whether it happens later, it's going to be an amazing moment, as you can hear from LeBron. He's so much looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And I think, we've never on the first day of an NBA season been able to say this, to be able to see that we can watch this sort of history. This is an incredibly cool story for their family, for NBA fans. And I can everybody in Crypto.com arena, they're all going to be waiting. Every time, Bronny adjusts his seat like I just did. Is this
when
the moment?
JJ looks down, it's like, is
exactly. Is this the moment that it's going to be happening? So that's incredibly exciting news.
When he's able to grace the NBA floor, if that's tonight or whenever the case may be, it'll be another one of those moments just to know, the adversity that he went through. And, I got a couple of family members that's, had heart surgeries, and some of them older, some of them younger. And to know how long it kind of takes to get back to yourself, one of the first things he asked, he asked the doctors, after his heart surgery, like, when can I play again? Like, when can I play again? Not like how long it's gonna take for my heart to heal, or not how long I was in surgery, or none of those. He asked, when can I play again?
That's something to keep in mind as we talk about LeBron and Bronny making their debut, making history together, Dave, is that this is somebody who not that long ago we were talking about being in cardiac arrest. So what did you hear at Shoot Around this morning, Dave?
Yeah, Malika, there's been a lot to celebrate about Bronny's life over the last several months. He closes out the preseason with 17 points. That's the most points scored by a number 55 pick in the draft in their rookie preseason since 2008. Obviously, he had the moment with LeBron in the preseason against the Phoenix Suns, their second preseason game in Palm Desert. Being drafted was a big moment, but just go back not that long ago to the summer of 2023 when he suffered that cardiac arrest, when he was going through a summer workout to prepare for his freshman season against USC. It was a very tenuous time. The James family didn't know whether Bronny would be able to survive it, let alone be able to play basketball. And LeBron took a moment to kind of just applaud his son for his commitment to the sport, and just recognize if he's been through all of that so far, that real adversity, no matter what lays in store for him in his rookie season, is certainly something that his son can get through as well.
Dave, thank you so very much. The Lakers, the Timberwolves, they tip off in the second game tonight.